We still remember the days when the skies were blue. The creature sighed as it lowered itself onto an old chair in the corner. The rickety cabin had been abandoned long ago. It nestled against the rocky cliff face next to a large cave entrance. We remember everything from the beginning, and we will see everything until the end, but we never would have expected things to turn out this way. Jane stood by a moldy table across the room from the fungal entity. "The sky used to be blue?" she asked it. The creature looked up at her. "Yes, and the air above the surface was safe for your kind to breathe. Humanity was everywhere, building bustling cities, creating new things, and discovering knowledge that would one day help them." The creature looked out the filthy window at phantoms of the past. "Then they did this." Jane held her grandfather's pocket watch close to her chest. Its rhythmic ticking had silenced many years ago, long before she inherited it. Regardless, it served as her last connection to him and brought comfort whenever she was scared. "You keep saying, 'we.' Who or what do you speak of?" she asked the creature. It heaved itself up out of the chair and lumbered closer. "Humans gave us names like fungus and mycelium. We are collective, one mind shared with many, carried by many generations. We started as the first mushrooms and have grown and withered through the ages, watching all, listening, learning." The creature stood over Jane now. "Now we can use what we learned." Jane stumbled backward and nearly fell over. "Don't fear us. We've nothing to gain from harming you." The creature took a step back. "We are everywhere, after all." Jane caught her breath. She glanced down at the watch, hearing the ghost of its sound at the back of her mind. "Is there any way to fix the sky? You said you have all the answers." "We never said that. You heard us say we knew much and assumed that we knew everything." The creature stared down at Jane with its crimson eyes. "A common human mistake. But do you know how to fix the sky, make it blue and clean again?" The creature didn't move nor answer. "The damage is done." Its voice came from the mushrooms sprouting off the wall. "When humans dropped their weapons on the world, they poisoned the air. A toxic snow rained from the heavens. Only we can thrive up there now." Its voice came from a deeper room in the cabin. "Every day we eat the poison, but it makes little difference." "So, you're already trying?" Jane followed the voice down a few stairs and into the rock-walled storeroom, where she found a massive face growing from the fungus on the far wall. 5 crimson eyes peeled open and looked at her. "No," the face answered, its mouth motionless. "We've given up long ago. As we said, the damage is done." "But the world has to heal," Jane shouted at the mycelium. "A wound can heal. People recover from illness." "Scars do not," the mycelium droned. "These wounds run too deep and refuse to close. Humanity may have been able to find a way to fix this, but now the means of finding it is beyond them. But what about you? You learned alongside humanity since the beginning. Surely you must be able to find a way." "Another folly of humans. You always expect someone else to do something, so you yourselves never do." The mushrooms on the walls shook. "Always throwing your responsibilities onto other people's shoulders. Even if we found a way to heal the earth, why should we? Your kind will just poison it again." The face pulled forward. "Humanity's third flaw. You don't learn from your mistakes." The cabin creaked as the fungus pulled on its walls. The caves nearby rumbled. The sounds of rocks cracking under the stress of fungal tendrils echoed loudly. Jane tucked herself down in fear. The mycelium continued. "Humans have used the same weapons before they poisoned the planet. They saw the damage they did and knew full well it would never heal." Jane slowly lifted her head to see the mycelium's mournful expression. "And we used them again anyway," she muttered. "Why must a species be so bent on destroying itself?" the mycelium asked. "And why must it destroy everything else to do it?" The face relaxed back against the wall. Jane glanced at a small window high on the cabin wall. She looked the other way into the dim cavern. Fungal tendrils hung from the ceiling, their ends casting light through the space like the stars from old storybooks. "We could not thrive in direct view of the sky, but we could see it from where we hid," the mycelium sighed. Day or night, it was a thing of beauty. A mushroom by the window turned its cap like a head to face outside. We could never match it, but we still try, just to remember. Jane lost herself in thought. Everyone knew the fungus would brighten and dim to a slow rhythm, but never knew why. "You're mimicking the sky," she concluded. "Bright for day, dim for night." We even tried to copy the sun, but we could never make it warm. Jane slowly turned to leave. She climbed the stairs and walked to the open door which led outside. "Jane!" The mycelium grabbed her attention. She turned around to see the creature was now moving again. It approached her and extended a hand. "May we see that watch?" it asked calmly. Jane hesitated before placing her watch in the mycelium's hand. It lifted the trinket to its face and inspected every detail. "Wait." It hobbled over to the table, where it pried the clock open. Jane gasped and winced, her hands raised to cover her mouth. The creature started poking around in a box by the side of the table. Then, it reached into the watch, removed some gears, and replaced them with others. It closed the watch, twisted the key, stood up, and returned it to her. "We figured we could give you something at least." It retreated back into the dim cavern below. Jane sank down onto the worn chair, holding the watch up to her ear. Tick, tock, tick, tock. It wasn't a promise of a blue sky, but at least she had the heartbeat of her grandfather's memory to comfort her.